With the first 2 days of the Woodstock Festival now history, Day 3 is about to begin. But the organizers decide that since Day 2 ended at 9:40 in the morning, maybe they'll give the crowd a little bit of a break. Maybe they can take a nap. Well, it was definitely a very little break because Day 3 started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just 4 hours after the end of Day 2. So you want to see what happens on Day 3? Let's drop the needle. Day 3 of the festival was August the 17th, a Sunday, and it was billed as a day of blues and roots rock music. And the opening act was Joe Cocker. Joe appeared with the Grease Band at 2 p.m. Among the songs they played were Feeling All Right, Let's Go Get Stoned, I Shall Be Released, and the Beatles song With a Little Help from My Friends. Cocker played an incredible set, and as he ended, the skies opened up again and the rain came down. And it rained, so the festival was delayed for at least 3 hours. By 6:30 p.m., the rain had stopped enough that Country Joe could now be joined by the Fish and hit the stage. Among the songs they played are Not So Sweet, Martha Lorraine, The Love Machine, and the always crowd favorite, the Fish cheer again, the I Feel Like I'm Fixing to Die rag. After the Fish, up came a band from England, 10 years after, with the incredible Alvin Lee on vocals and lead guitar. They play 6 songs, including Good Morning Little Schoolgirl and The Amazing I'm Going Home, which was featured in the Woodstock film. At 10 o'clock that night, finally, one of the local bands from the Woodstock area goes on stage. But no, it's not Bob Dylan. It is the band. Their 1-hour set featured 11 songs, including Chest Fever, Don't Do It, This Wheel's on Fire, Long Black Veil, and of course, The Wait. Now it's after midnight, and Johnny Winter and his brother Edgar Winter take the stage. They play 8 songs, including I Can't Stand It, Tobacco Road, and Johnny Be Good. Now Woodstock makes a move to include acts that have lots of members. And the first one appears on stage at 1:30. With 9 members in the group, we get Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They're fronted by David Clayton Thomas, and among their 10-song set, they perform Just One Smile, Spinning Wheel, God Bless the Child, When I Die, and You've Made Me So Very Happy. But the film crews were ordered to stop shooting the band because their manager had never given them permission to do so. At 3 a.m., Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young hit the stage. But Young refuses to be filmed. And so as a result, all the footage that comes out later, you don't see him, and mainly it will focus on Stephen Stills. This performance by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young is only the second time that they had appeared live in public. The first one being a few days earlier in Chicago, which was a concert that I attended, and I talked about it in an earlier episode. You can check that out. I'll put the link up here. At Woodstock, they start with an acoustic set, which includes Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Helplessly Hoping, Crosby's Guinevere, Nash's Marrakesh Express, and Neil's Mr. Soul. Then they do an electric set, where they roar through Pre-Road Downs, Long Time Gone, Bluebird Revisited, Sea of Madness, and Wooden Ships. Then they were followed by another large group, this group also having 9 members, and this would be the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. They performed 7 songs, including Born Under a Bad Sign and Driftin' and Driftin'. Continuing in this idea of having a large group of people on the stage at any time, the next act is Sha-Na-Na, and there's a bunch of them. They bring their renditions of early rock songs like Come Go With Me, Teen Angel, Book of Love, At the Hop, and Duke of Earl. Now it's Monday morning, and it's around 9 o'clock. And finally we get who was actually the headliner of this event. But to be fair, since it's a 9 o'clock on Monday morning, a lot of the festival goers have already left, so the crowd is definitely thinning when Jimi Hendrix hits the stage. The band is introduced as the Jimi Hendrix Experience, but Mitch Mitchell, the drummer, is the only member of the Experience that's there with Jimi. And Jimi says, no, I think you can refer to us as a band of gypsies. They played for over 2 hours, performing 17 songs. But my highlights: Red House, Foxy Lady, Voodoo Child, Slight Return, Purple Haze, Hey Joe, and the song that Jimi is always remembered for playing at Woodstock, which was his instrumental, the guitar soaring through the Star-Spangled Banner. Now, as usual, I've created a Spotify playlist where you can listen to some of the songs that I've talked about in this episode. And here's the link, and I'll also put it in the comments below. And then at 11:40 on Monday morning, when Hendrix finally leaves the stage, the Woodstock Music Festival, 3 days of peace, love, music, and mud, are finally over. Wow, 32 acts appeared over the 3 days. However, there were a number of acts who were invited who did not appear. And if they had, it would have been a much different festival. So we'll take a look at that in the next episode. We'll also talk about the movie that came out and the album that was released. And we'll take a little look at how much the artists got paid for appearing at Woodstock. Now, over the years since Woodstock has happened, I've heard many people say, gosh, I would have loved to have been there. What an amazing experience. Well, yeah, I'm sure it was an amazing experience, but let's really think about it for a minute. The Woodstock stage is not anything like modern day festival stages. Woodstock did not have large projection screens. And if you were at the back of the crowd of 460,000, you couldn't see the stage, and you probably didn't hear much of the music except for it being very muffled, because the sound system wasn't that great back in 1969 either. And then, of course, you had to put up with all the rain and the mud. So in one sense, it was a great concert, but in another sense, I think it was really about the crowd being a community. And if any of you attended the Woodstock Music Festival in 1969, please, in the comments down below, tell us your experience. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep it rockin'. If you liked this episode, hit the like button, and you can also leave me a comment down below, and I'll respond to you. If you subscribe, we'll let you know when future episodes come out.